Welcome, welcome, welcome everybody to Sipurey Maasios shir. It's supposed to be Monday night, but being at Ben Azmonim, so today it's Tuesday night. So, with your permission, let me just put on the exchange children and let's take a look here at what is going on. Okay. So the last thing that we're talking about is they're discussing, there were in that particular place, the house of the men of the forest. And in the night, they heard the animals scream, and when they listened closely, they realized it was an amazing harmony. And the men of the forest told them that there's the animals that are singing for the moon. The moon is doing them favors. It illuminates for them at night because this is when they rule. And now, that the sun has made the moon a new garment, out of gratitude, the animals are singing to the moon, for the moon, in honor of the moon. That's the tune that you hear. So now that they had it was actually a melody, which means it's a shira. So listening more closely, and it was lovely and sweet and it's incredible novelty. And he replied to them, the man of the forest says, what, this is such a novelty, Elamai? I have an instrument which I've received from my forebears, or inherited it from their forebears, in other words, which this instrument was made with such things, such as leaves and colors, that one takes the instrument and puts it on whatever beast or whatever bird, it immediately begins to play this melody. The animals, that melody that the animals are singing. And then the laughter happened again, it became day, and the men of the forest went away again. The nekuda of the animals roaring during the night, the moon is illuminating for the animals. And when you listen to the groaning and the roaring, whatever it is of the animals, you realize that it's amazing harmony. Well, we're going to, in Yitzhak Hashem, have Thursday and Friday, Rosh Chodesh Elul in Yitzhak Hashem. Rosh Chodesh Elul, any Rosh Chodesh, is the time of the renewal of the Lavana, of the moon. The moon is something which takes a central role in the life of a Jew. In fact, the sun is akin to Torah, represents Torah. And the moon represents the Jew, represents you and me. We're talking about, when we say that this entire union of having choice in the world, living with choice, having choice, is a function of the fact that there is night. that there is darkness, that there is Yetzer Hara, that there is failure. There is something which is called Gama Levana, the diminishment or the diminishing of the Levana. This is represented by the Maasios of Rosh Chodesh more than anything else, because Rosh Chodesh is the time of tshuva. It was created specifically by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, so that the whole notion of tshuva will be possible. Rabbeinu explains that when you're talking about a person in this world that does something, chas v'chalila, which is not, in accordance with the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rabbeinu says, we're not even talking about an Aveira. Just that it's not something that Hashem would want. Being that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is absolutely everything, and that He is so great, that just doing something not in accordance with HaKadosh Baruch Hu's covered, immediately, chas v'chalila, it would mean that a person would deserve for all kinds of not easy, not nice, not pleasant things happening to him. Being a HaKadosh Baruch Hu is everything. How can the notion of tshuva even be possible? How can tshuva even be possible? Baruch Hu is everything. He's the melech of everything. He is perfection. The minute you don't handle yourself perfectly, game over. That's it. So what HaKadosh Baruch Hu did is he diminished the Levana. And Rosh Chodesh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, there's Chatas Rosh Chodesh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Kivyochel, bring kapara, an atonement for me. That I have diminished the Levana, and therefore created the Yetzer Hara, which is an amazing thing, because Baruch Hu does not make any mistakes. Here, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, b'chavana, made something that the Shem Yisbarach Kivyochel is regretting. Well, if HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kivyochel did something that needs regretting, that needs atonement, so now we have, we have the wherewithal to come and say that we're sorry. In other words, the Gama Levana is the thing that the HaKadosh Baruch Hu did in order to give us an opening to come back after we fell down. So comes the question, why do we need this? Why go through this whole thing of falling down and getting up? Nosson explains that when the Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to create the world, and he asked the Eitzah of the Malachim, as it were, and of the Torah and Midas HaEmes, so they said, no, don't create man, because he's going to sin. Well, you sin against the Kadosh Baruch Hu, as we said before, game over. On the other hand, so what HaKadosh Baruch Hu did, he took the truth, because man is going to sin, and he threw it to the ground. Shneimar v'tosh lachem et arza, and the truth was flung to the ground. So we said before, what good does it do? The truth is flung to the ground. Flinging against the wall. So why? It doesn't change the fact that it's true. In other words, what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu accomplish by throwing the truth down? Still the truth. The truth is a trait. It's a fact. It's not somebody that that you shut up or you shush. So Nosson explains that what the Malachim themselves did not understand is, and the Tzaddikim do, is that the truth of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is way, way, way beyond the bare bone truth of the Malachim. Because truth, per definition, is a black and white situation. Either it's the truth or it's a lie. There's no in between. It's either this or it's that. In other words, if I ask you how to get to a certain place, and I tell you the directions, either they're true or they're false. Can be true and false. If you tell me, were you at a certain place at a certain time? And I say, yes, I was, or no, I wasn't. Either it's the truth or it's false, or it's a lie. It cannot be both. But the Emsa Kodesh Baruch Hu is unrestricted. By Kodesh Baruch Hu, all things are true. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Yesh ve'ayin at the same time. And Yesh ve'ayin are two contradictory inyanim. If there's a Yesh, there's a Yesh. If there's an Ayin, there's an Ayin. That's it. It's no... Kadosh Baruch Hu, Yesh ve'ayin are both one and the same. But that's not the kind of emes of the Malachim. The Malachim is yes, yes, no, no. There's no fooling around, as it were. But the emes of Kadosh Baruch Hu is way beyond the trait of truth and on itself. That's what it says in I think in Tikkun Zohar. It says the Keser Elyon in Tikkun Zohar, or it says in the Idra. It says the Keser Elyon, the supernal crown, the highest level that there is, the Atika Kadisha. There's no level kaviochol above it, even though it shines in a limitless light. Compared to the reason of all reasons, to Kadosh Baruch Hu, it's totally dark, it's totally black. It means that the Midas Emes itself, compared to Hashem, is also a lie. How can it be? Truth is the seal of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in this world. So how can it be a lie? The answer is that truth, the simple truth in this world, is the closest that you can get in this world to the emes of Hashem Yisbarach. It's the road to the emes of Hashem Yisbarach. Still, when compared to Kodesh Baruch Hu, it's still a bchina of sheker, a bchina of darkness. And Rasan explains that according to the emes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the real truth has to come out from the earth. It has to come out from a situation of falling down, of slipping and faltering, of failure. He says, Avisa Tehilo, you wanted lords in Shvachim, Mikrutze offer, Migushe offer Krutze Chomer, from lumps of earth, of sand, that were made of matter. In other words, the emes the Kodesh Baruch Hu wants, the only way to get to the emes of the Kodesh Baruch Hu in this world is when you fail in this world, that you get up again. This is an emes which is way higher than the simple truth, I didn't do anything. Okay, didn't do anything, fine. You fell. And you got up again. That's beyond just being right or wrong. You're both right. You're wrong and you're right at the same time. This is parallel. This is it resembles the emes of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, where everything is true. Because ultimately everything leads to him. Obviously you have to stick to the emes. But the fact that there is a Yetzirah, the fact that there is failing and falling into each one according to what it falls into. Nevertheless, the emes la'amita, which is the level of truth that tzaddikim teach us, is that you get up again. To the point that Rabbeinu says in Sefer Amidos, that yesh inyan, there is an instant, there is a situation, that the person is being pushed off from above into doing something that he shouldn't do. Because his test is not whether he's going to do it or he's not going to do it. They take the choice away. They push him into it. His choice is whether to trust the Kodesh Baruch Hu's Rachmanis and come back again. It is obvious that the person, you say, hey, wait, just a second, that's not fair. Well, they're pushing a person in Shemayim to do something that's not supposed to do. So what are you doing tshuva for? The answer is that the person wouldn't be pushed from Shemayim unless he did something before. And that he shouldn't have done. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to make that person aware that he did something wrong. So what happens is HaKadosh Baruch Hu pushes him into something that the person realizes, whoa, this is wrong. Can't believe I did that. And two things have to happen. One of them is the person has to realize, I did something I should not have done. This is really not, this is like way off. And you start looking, what was it? What did I do? At the same time, you come to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and you beg him for forgiveness because you did do both what you fell into now and the fact that you fell into something before. You know, the sentence sounds almost stupid, but we don't know, we're not aware of that of which we are not aware. Well, duh, obviously. No. The thing is that we're actually going through this world, with blinders on, like horses. We don't see anything which is to the left or to the right. We have a tunnel vision. We have this, and each and every one of us, it's everybody. It's not, each and every, we have a certain kind of gaiva, a certain kind of pretense that anybody that does something which we don't approve of, people that are far greater than us. We spoke about that before. We look at him, it's like, being that he doesn't hold the way that I know is the truth. What about his Torah? What about his tefillah? What about his tzidkis? It's amazing. The minute that you realize that you figure yourself to be smart, because the minute that you figure that you're smart, that you have your own opinion, that you hold of whatever it is that you hold of, and everybody else is just an also, if they agree with me, they're cool. If they disagree with me, nothing. There's nothing what to talk about. So unless a person falls into something that he shouldn't do, it wouldn't even dawn on him to look for, what do you mean I did something wrong? I'm not aware of anything wrong. Pasha Seikim, these are the mitzvahs that the person, dash ba'kever, that he stamps on it with the heel of his foot. We're not aware. So a person is being pushed b'shamayim. But this is very, very noigeya to the regrets that people have regarding things that they did. especially what a person did that damaged other people. I mean, we were in school, and in school, children are bullied. I don't care what school it is. And in the bullying session, everybody's a victim. The kid that's being bullied is a victim, but also the one who bullies is a victim. Needless to say, everybody's standing around appeasing the bully, wanting to be politically correct and wanting to avoid being the next victim. Why is the bully a victim? Because that situation where you have a bully and somebody's being bullied, and people that either join the fray or just standing on the sideline, is in a situation where the other person or kid or whatever is just a tool in my hand. It's just a subject. It's just an object. You know, if I want to feel like big and strong and have fun, so I can bully him. Or I can climb on top of, I can get myself high on top by pushing the other person down. He's not a person, he's a thing. It's a state of mind. Everybody that is caught up in that particular scene becomes infected with this way of looking at things. Winners and losers. Winning isn't the biggest thing, it's the only thing, right? You probably heard that. So there goes a kid that maybe I bullied. Maybe I was the bullied kid, and when another kid was bullied, I didn't stand up to the bully because I didn't want him to suddenly notice, hey, wow, we let him go. And these kids carry the scars for the rest of their lives. Needless to say, as we have our own children, and we take them, you know, in the beginning, the early stages of their lives, as passengers. You know, we are the one who counts. Being that they cannot stand up for themselves, not until their teen years. So they basically don't matter. And we scar them. We do. They get damaged. Kids need the mother and the father to get along. Because from the point of view of the kid, mommy and daddy are in the world to take care of me. The minute that doesn't happen, you know, I'm sowing the seeds of insecurity in the child. Every child needs to be loved, it needs security, needs to be challenged, needs to be nurtured. The minute that things are wrong between mommy and tati, then the very foundation of the existence of my kids is shaken. Needless to say, when when divorces ensue. Obviously, there are cases, where cruelty and abuse is taking place, but the point is, at a certain point in time, you take a look and you look back at your life and you see the people that you injured. And the thing is that, especially with kids, during their formative years, you didn't pay attention. I didn't pay attention to the fact that I was being I didn't care. They were just there, okay? These short little things that ran, either give me trouble or didn't give me trouble. And then they grew up and they congealed into, all my mistakes, as it were. Or rather, the way that they experienced my mistakes have congealed like concrete. And he says, okay, I want to fix this. I want to fix the damage I did. And once it hardens, it's a lot easier said than done. When a person is self-aware, when a person examines himself, it is inevitable that a person will find himself in an extremely helpless feeling of, how did I do this? Why the heck did I do this? And comes the question, how do I fix this? And I look at it and I see there's no way to fix it. So what am I going to do with myself? What on earth am I going to do with myself? How am I going to swallow that behavior that I have done, which is beyond rectification? I cannot fix it anymore. They're all grown up. The kids that were abused in the school, who knows where they are? The answer is both sides of the truth, which by the regular truth of a human being, it's either or. Either you're guilty or you're innocent. And that's it. By Kodesh Baruch Hu is not so. By Kodesh Baruch Hu, on one hand, I have to do tshuva on the pain that I have inflicted, on the damage that I have wrought, being selfish, being self-centered, without running to excuses. You know what I went through in my childhood and this and that and my parents. Well, why? When I say, if I did it, if my child is not an excuse, I cannot use this as an excuse for what I inflicted on others. So why am I guilty for what I did to them? If my parents are not guilty for what they did to me, why am I guilty for what I did to my kids? How does it play, man? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. The answer is that I went through whatever it is I needed to go through in order to face the challenges that my neshama needed for the refining and the rectifications that I needed to effect in my life. The same thing applies to my kids. However, that does not get me off the hook. I still need to do tshuva. My kids were brought to the household where I was a part of. I was the father. Or these kids were brought to the class where I was a classmate. So they have gone through whatever it is they need to go through. Like I went through whatever it is I had to go through. On the other hand, I need to do tshuva for whatever it is I need to do tshuva. And ask and beg HaKadosh Baruch Hu that whoever it is that I damage will come to the tikkun. I should be zeicher to pay all the people that I need to pay. I don't even know where they are. I don't even remember what I owed them. One should not get out of this world owing people money. It's bad business in Olam Haba. All this is possible because there's darkness, because the moon was damaged. The moon is what the Yetzer Hara is, the ambiguity. The animals represent the Yetzer Hara. When you have the right kind of balance, knowing that on one hand, whatever happened because the Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted it to happen that way. That's white. On the other hand, whatever it is that I damage, I need to do tshuva on. In human logic, these two facts, they don't coincide. Either I'm guilty or I'm not, or it was supposed to be. The answer is the Emsa Kodesh Baruch Hu is both. This is what's supposed to be, and I'm supposed to do tshuva. What it's going to do? What is the tshuva? What good does the tshuva does? The tshuva does, Rabbeinu says, if you believe that you can spoil, that you can break, that you can ruin, believe that you can rectify. You're accepting the Kadosh Baruch Hu's truth on the Kadosh Baruch Hu's terms. This is the song that the animals are singing for the moon, because the moon got a new garment from the sun. New garment represents the rectification of the exchange. We call a spade a spade. A lie is a lie. And truth is truth. And there's no tachlis in this world except to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There isn't. That means that the Ben Melech is taking the Melucha, is taking the dominion. The whole thing together is a song. So what do? You can walk around feeling horrible, feeling miserable for all the wreckage of one's past. Or even the present, I don't know, I'm not getting along with my wife or my this or my that, whatever it is, or with my children. And the damage being done right now, as we speak. So what do? What do? When you know that you are damaged, you're creating damage as you speak. Right now in your life. The answer is in that particular box that the tzaddik is telling them that if you put it on a beast, you put it on an animal, it starts to sing this song. Because we come to the table, we come to our families, we come to whatever it is. And many, many times, as I said, we were already pre-formatted by our experiences, our childhood, our upbringing, whatever it is. And many of the things are have sharp edges. And they damage the people around me, they damage my kids, they damage a lot. And I don't know what to do. My wife drives me crazy, or my husband drives me crazy, or my kids drive me crazy, or the fellow parnasa drives me, whatever it is. The answer is you go to Kadosh Baruch Hu and you talk to him. And you tell him, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Baruch Hashem, I'm already self-aware enough. I'm a Breslover. Baruch Hashem, we have these shiurim, this wonderful shiurim. And yeah, I realize that I'm not the only victim around this story. It's the easiest way to look at it. I'm the victim. Everybody else, is at fault. I mean, just look, But I'm also doing damage. I'm inflicting pain. I feel pain on one hand. I'm inflicting pain on the other hand. And frankly, I have no answers. The answer is you put that box that makes the animals things a taver, a keli, a vessel. This is the mouth. And you come to Kadosh Baruch Hu and you talk to him. You tell him, Ribono Shel Olam, I am so scared. I'm so scared. I'm so scared of the damage I'm doing. I'm so scared of life. I'm so scared of death. I'm so scared of illness. I'm so scared of ill news. Anybody. And I don't know what to do. I don't have nobody to talk to. Speak to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, what is my wish? He says, At ve'ani nitayel began Eden. You and I will stroll in Gan Eden. It's not just Gan Eden of Olam Haba, it's also Gan Eden of Olam Hazeh. As we said, the Kadosh Baruch Hu is all the time with you, all the time cares about you, and the only one who truly understands you. Talk to him. When you talk to Kadosh Baruch Hu and you ask him to illuminate things for you, to help you, tell him, just why should I afterwards, cried over spilled milk and the horses that were already stolen, and the damage that I already inflicted on my children, or on my wife, on my whoever it is. Why wait until there? Ribono Shel Olam, help me stop it now. And I still keep on falling down into the same pitfall all over and over and over and over again. And I don't know what to do. The koach of the tzaddik, you are making the tikkunim that you need to do, that you need to be masakin. You enter into a realm of such beauty. This is Olam Yitzira, this is Psuke de Zimra. A certain staging in Yiddishkeit, you enter into the realm of beauty. And the tool in the realm of beauty is the keli, the tefillah. As Rabbeinu says, it's made out of leaves and colors. Leaves represents the lips, valel trufa. This is the lips that look like leaves. That's what the aravas have, a shape of a leaf of the mouth, the lips. Netzach, the hod is the aravas, is the lips, the upper and lower lip. And the colors, we're talking about the sapphire, which is the kiseh cover. This is the luchas abris is made of that. So Rabbeinu says in Torah Kuf Yud Gimel, a person speaks the truth. You have the word, which is a gashmic thing, which is the leaves, and inside is a Kadosh Baruch Hu himself, because the truth is the receptor. It gives a Kadosh Baruch Hu, Kadosh Baruch Hu becomes evident in this world. This is the Dibur. Bring your pain to Hashem. Bring your regrets to Hashem. Bring your, I can't do this. Every step I take, it doesn't matter who's at fault. It's me or it's my wife or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's still creating damage. Both of us will be sorry for this in the future and regret it. And it will be too late. Why wait until then? Help us now. What do I do with that thing which I cannot change anymore? You bring everything to the sherish. That's the new garment for the Lavana. And soon you'll be able to continue on your journey. From the world of beauty to the world of Torah, of truth. So Hashem, this is something that we will talk about already, it's Hashem next week. So, Be'ez Hashem, we will meet on Thursday night, Rosh Chodesh Elul, learning Likutei Moharan. And Be'ezrat Hashem, each and every one of us, just be strong, lean on the tzaddik. It's so easy to get discouraged in this world. It's so easy to feel, look what I've done. Look at the situation I'm in. It's impossible to get out. It'll never happen. It'll never come true. Don't worry. It's okay. Lean on the tzaddik and bring it to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And everything is without Hashem going to be all right. Everything already is all right. Without Hashem, without Hashem.